Hello.
Hello, hello, hello.
Braden Herrington here with Davie Portman for upNXT, postwrestling.com, patreon.com/upNXT, youtube.com/upNXT, where we are live right now after TakeOver Portland has just aired. We're on our YouTube as we're live every Wednesday night.
We are indeed, and we are also live right now on the Hot Mic app.
Yes.
So every Wednesday night we are going live after NXT.
Yeah.
Every TakeOver we're going live. And you can join us on both Hot Mic and YouTube.com. We're trying both out at the moment. We're seeing kind of which ones we prefer and which ones you prefer. So give us a go. Both are absolutely free. So hotmic.com on your app store and search for upNXT.
And wherever you get your podcasts.
Oh, absolutely.
Like
That's
Spotify.
Our bread and butter.
Some people do the Spotify thing.
Spotify thing, yeah.
Shout out people who listen on the Spotify at work, because you got the Spotify on the PC, desktop, whatever. Or shout out the people do the classic download, listen in your car on the way to work. Because I know those people who are like, you guys save my commutes. So shout out those people too.
Absolutely.
And everyone else, obviously. But we're here to talk about NXT because we're your NXT friends. So every Wednesday night we do the NXT TV show live on USA, and we said, we go live, but this is the podcast form as well. But tonight is what we've been building towards for weeks. Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
Right?
How was it?
Oh, well, it was like tonight. It was Rebel heartbreaking.
Oh, no.
That's what it was.
Really?
No, actually, I had a good Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
Yeah, how about you? You had big plans with your girlfriend.
Yeah, my girlfriend cat-sitted recently.
Yeah.
Cat-sat.
Yeah.
And got given $100 gift voucher for a restaurant called El Catrin in the Distillery District in Toronto. It's a very nice, fancy Mexican restaurant.
You came home with like 1 million tacos.
Yes. Yeah. And then one at work, they were doing a promotion, the Jurassic Platter, to celebrate the Raptors. Oh, are you winding me
off?
You're playing me off. So I sold the most of these Jurassic Platters, so won a $100 Visa card. So we had $200 to spend.
Blessed.
So we just went to El Catrin and we said, hey, if we like the look of something, let's just order it.
Right.
So we ordered everything.
You came back
pretty
with
much.
A lot of tacos.
And we had a little bit of it, and then we asked the server, it's like, hey, can we get this all to go, please? And she's like, oh no, what's wrong? It's like, nothing. We're having this tomorrow.
Took her for tacos, told her don't even plate it.
And then we went to a bar called Duke's Refreshers on front. It's where the old Jack Astor's used to be on front.
Yeah. It's
awesome. They've put a load of arcade games. They've got like the boxing glove thing. They've even got a mini basketball court in there. It's really cool. So we played a bit of pinball and played some table tennis and stuff.
And then, because Valentine's was on Friday night. Saturday night should have been the takeover.
Yes.
This is the first rare Sunday takeover, right?
Well,
did anyone just go prepare for Saturday night and then realize like you weren't ready for the takeover? I wonder.
Yeah, I mean, I work such weird hours that I never know what the day is anyway. Yeah. So it doesn't really affect me too much. I imagine they're going to do these individual takeovers on Sundays, and then when it's obviously a WrestleMania week or whatever, move it back to Saturday.
Because I liked having a Saturday where I could go out. I celebrated my Valentine's Day by popping a lot of the bubbly. And that's the other show. That's the other show.
That's the other show
that we also review on our Patreon. But I had a little bit of the bubbly. So real champagne is actually from France. Like, it has to be considered.
It's got to be from Champagne. It's got to be from the town called Champagne.
Because I don't remember the name of the stuff I had, but like
it was real champagne.
Yeah, it was some good shit. So it was blessed. It was awesome. So I'm kind of surviving. I was doing a lot better than I thought I was, because champagne gives you the.
It's the head. It's those bubbles go to the head.
Yeah, that's going on in my head right now. So I survived, drank some coffee, watched some TakeOver Portland, and yeah.
So a few things were different about this takeover.
Okay.
It was as you mentioned, on a Sunday, not a Saturday.
The Lord's Day. Sabbath.
Secondly, it had 6 matches on the card rather than 5.
Right.
It ran the Northwest region. I think they said that was the first time NXT has been in that region. Portland. But even that whole area, I don't believe they've done anything up there. And it ran for 3 hours. 3 hours, 5 minutes. One of the longest takeovers.
True.
How did you feel about the the extra match and the length, because one of the positives people often say is takeovers are so snappy. It's just like 5 solid matches and you're done within like 2.5 hours. Did it bother you at all that it was a bit longer this time? Or?
No, I don't think it did. I think 3 hours was fine. I think it was fine.
I don't want it to push any further than that, really. Yeah, I believe it came down at 10:05, so it was pretty much 3 hours, 5 minutes. Okay. They didn't do any pre-show matches like they did at the last TakeOver, which I was fine with. It was just half an hour. You had Mansoor out there and Sam Roberts.
Playing Boo Yeah.
There was a bit of yay, boo, boo, yay.
People hate Sam Roberts, apparently.
Mansoor looked great out there, though.
He's the best.
I think he's someone who could go far within the company.
You've been supporting him for
I think he's fantastic.
The past few years
yeah,
on NXT
absolutely.
TV.
He's the one who should beat the Fiend in Saudi Mania one day.
Well, Goldberg's doing that.
No, Goldberg. Oh, maybe.
Maybe. What do you mean? It's Goldberg Brock and Mania, baby. Come on.
Oh, that would be good. Goldberg Brock?
Yeah, why not? Oh, wait.
Goldberg Roman.
Sorry, Goldberg Roman. Yeah, sorry.
I'd like that.
Goldberg Roman.
I'd dig that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I wouldn't want them to push it anymore. I think every match still got a good amount of time.
Yeah.
Nothing really felt shortchanged, I didn't think.
Yeah, nothing felt rushed. Even, you're absolutely right. It felt fine. Because usually it's 2.5. This one, it flowed pretty fast. It flowed really good. And I still felt the matches got the time they deserved. So that's why it went to 3 hours. So instead of making it 2.5 and the matches get cut, or shorter, right, you know? So, I thought this was a fantastic TakeOver. TakeOver Buzzsaw?
TakeOver Chainsaw? I don't know.
Because we wondered why, when they first announced this, we wondered why this was the logo. And we said, hey, do anyone listen from Portland or that area? Why is this a thing? And people were like, yeah, it's like the lodging and wood industry and all that stuff.
They said it's all that, and it's pretty much, log, like, woodwork, like chopping down trees and shit.
Making paper.
Craft beer and strip clubs.
Oh, in Portland, Oregon.
So
Whoa.
So maybe it should have been a.
Oh, that's why there's like the Drake song. There's a Drake song called Portland. Maybe they love Portland because of that. I could assume. Interesting. Well, we should go there sometime.
Well, yeah, I think this is a crowd they should definitely run again. We had SmackDown in Vancouver on Friday, who sounded great because I believe it was 20 years. When they last played Vancouver.
There used to be this guy with this sign, like every WrestleMania, who said Vancouver for WrestleMania, and like he would show it for years in a row, and like they never done it.
But that's crazy. A city like Vancouver hasn't even had a Raw or a SmackDown in 20 years.
Crazy.
I guess they're close to Seattle, which they run a lot, but that's madness. So the crowd was fantastic Friday at SmackDown, and tonight I thought in Portland they're obviously a starved crowd for WWE because they were so hot for all these matches tonight.
Definitely. The crowd definitely wanted this. It was the same thing when they did a TakeOver Toronto here years ago, the first one.
Oh, yeah.
With Gargano, Ciampa versus versus Revival. Like, we haven't got wrestling in so long, and the promo video for that intro was like, yo, there's history in the city, and we kind of haven't been here in a while, so sorry.
And then we let ourselves down at the last TakeOver.
Yeah, a little bit. I definitely see them going back to Portland because that's what the commentary kept saying all night here on this show. I guess we should just kind of go into this show.
Absolutely.
That's how we should do it here. So before in the pre-show, if you do want to talk about it, you mentioned Mansoor and Sam Roberts. The Broserweights also are here.
They managed to get to Portland.
All I could picture is Triple H on his private jet finding Matt Riddle and Pete Dunne, and then he's doing his best Harrison Ford. Get off my plane.
It's more going to be, what's that smell?
Yeah.
What's that smell happening?
Yeah. I mean, Triple H is like drug-free, drink-free.
Yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't party in that.
No.
He parties in business.
He's like the Scrump of the clique, isn't he?
Yeah, Scrump is Triple H.
Scrump is the Triple H.
Whoa, he doesn't like that, I can tell you that. But he is. He's the DD.
Yeah.
Yeah, he drove us around in Chicago.
Yeah.
It was great.
Yeah. Seems to have a solid head on his shoulders as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Scrump is Triple H.
Yeah, not quite the nose on Scrump, though. So the Broserweights have landed, and we got some flack for kind of dissing their promos last week on NXT on last week's show, but it was funny. Some of it was funny, but even like tonight in their match, some of it was like a little now forced, it seems.
I mean, that's always been the WWE way, isn't it? Like the Fandango effect.
Exactly.
That Fandango theme got crazy popular. It started charting on iTunes.
Yeah.
And then, like, a month later, WWE, like, flogging a dead horse.
Yeah, exactly.
And I don't know. I don't think they've got to that point yet with it, but it could definitely happen.
Yeah.
But we'll get to that match later on.
We see Poppy start the show. Hi, it's Poppy. What are your thoughts on Poppy?
I like Poppy.
You like Poppy?
Yeah, she's cool.
This song sounds like a straight kind of rip of Down with the Sickness or something, Disturbed-ish. But to me, this band is interesting because it's like just a rock band that hired like this girl to like be their lead singer. To like, it's like a pet project, an art project kind of thing. So they're trying to like get over is that she's kind of dressed like Mr. Sinister from X-Men, or like who's Angelina Jolie in the Mistress, Dark Mistress, you know, the Disney movie.
No. Oh, what, Maleficent?
Yeah.
Okay,
she was rocking like that. But interesting song. I like the song choices in NXT rather than the like WWE.
Yeah, me too.
Like, main ones, right? Although the WrestleMania Hollywood that's next year is using The Weeknd, Blinding Lights.
They've already announced that?
Yeah, in the trailers and all the commercials, it's the theme song for it. So you're gonna hear
what's the theme this year?
Oh, yeah. What is the theme this year? TakeOver.
I feel last year didn't really have a...
I mean,
wasn't last year Maroon 5 or something like that?
Yeah, I'm happy that you don't get bumped over the head with them. You
Yeah.
can just reuse old ones. Just use My Way. All WrestleManias just use My Way. That's what we agree on. Poppy plays out, and we have our opening match here. The North American Championship is on the line. Dominik Dijakovic facing off against Keith Lee, the champion. This is what we like to call Big Lads Wrestling.
Big Lads Wrestling!
Big Lads Wrestling, indeed, here. We see the video from Mark Henry that aired last week on NXT where he's like, Big Lads Wrestling, essentially. Yeah. He says, these are big guys. These guys are going to fuck it up.
I remember when I was doing Avalanche Spanish Flies with the Big Show back in the day.
It's like, remember when Giant Gonzalez did a corkscrew moonsault? Remember that? Yeah, that's what he says. This is what they do. Somebody go and get your head wig split. So, Big Lads Wrestling here. Early, this match starts off, Keith Lee, Dominik Dijakovic. There's a fast, like, Hurricane Rana from Lee, just like nothing. Like, this guy is huge.
Yeah.
305 Live, as they call him. Hits this thing. Dijakovic then gets back in and runs for, like, the Fosbury flop type move. But he gets caught by Keith Lee, who then tries to, like, powerbomb him. But then Keith Lee gets suplexed onto the apron from Dominik Dijakovic. They're back in the ring, and they're striking each other with, like, hard... they're huge. Like, they're just slugging each other. There's a huge German, and Dijakovic goes, like, all the way over, like Kurt Angle style. Keith Lee doesn't even, like, bend backwards. He just throws him.
Yeah, he's still standing after he's delivered this suplex.
He doesn't even, like, bend that way. He just throws him, and Dijakovic does the full, like, rotation. Classic Kurt Angle style. But this guy's, like, huge, so it's crazy. Dijakovic, like... gets Keith Lee knocked down and goes to the up top. And I joked about Giant Gonzalez in a move he could never do. Dominik Dijakovic hits a fucking corkscrew moonsault.
It was funny. So we were watching this together, and as he's going to the top, you sighed and went, "Oh, he never hits this move," and thinking he's going for the moonsault.
He never hit the moonsault.
He didn't hit the moonsault.
He hit the corkscrew moonsault. This was insane. Looked awesome. He hit it perfectly. But Keith Lee kicks out. Keith Lee then hulks up. And they go back and forth. It's a stalemate. They're blocking each other's moves. There's lariats. There's clotheslines, whatever you want to call them, as long as JR doesn't call them sling blades. They go up top, and there's a DVD off the top where Dominik Dijakovic hits this on.
This was scary. There's something about both these guys. I think it's more so Dijakovic, where it's... I don't want to use the word sloppy, but it's not pretty. It's impressive, but it's not pretty. It kind of reminds me of when Cena will pull out a Hurricanrana or a move he doesn't normally do. Do you know what I mean?
Sure.
And because he hits this DVD, and your kind of heart is in your mouth whenever he's hitting these big moves, because there are slight wobbles and all that, which normally I wouldn't like, but it just adds to the excitement, and you kind of believe that this is a big dude thinking... Oh, how am I going to beat this guy? All right, I guess I'll just hit a DVD off the top.
Why wouldn't
I don't know.
Why wouldn't you?
So it doesn't look pretty, but it's definitely effective.
Well, he kicks out of it, because why not? So he then hits the pounce to Dijakovic, sending him flying into the turnbuckles, his head bouncing. There's a whole outside chop battle where Dijakovic starts chopping Keith Lee. Keith Lee starts chopping the shit out of Dijakovic. Keith Lee then sits Dijakovic in a chair and chops him so loud. He gets the whole entire arena to quiet down, and then chops him, and it's just so crazy. The crowd like played into it just perfectly.
Again, it kind of showed how kind of starved they are for this, because they were like, oh, we get to do the quiet bit now. Yeah. It's going to be a loud chop, and they're just so into the match.
Yeah. And then, so Dijakovic then gets out of this chair, and we're talking about like the announcer's chair here. So now, in between the two announce tables, Dijakovic sits down Keith Lee in the chair, pummels him a bit, goes into the ring. Then, again, where Keith Lee is sitting in this chair, in between the announce tables, Dijakovic then springboards and hits a tope, like, con hero onto Keith Lee, who was sitting on this chair, and they both, like, just crumble to the ground.
I'm just picturing... Like, imagine being Keith Lee, and you just sat there. You know this spot is coming.
Front row seat.
And you're just, okay, please don't hurt me, fuck. And this 6'7" dude just flies at you.
The chair didn't give. It didn't go, they fell back. Like, they didn't go under or crash. So I think it hurt Dijakovic maybe even more.
Probably. Oh, yeah. It looked impressive, though.
It looked crazy. This is a Mamma Mia. I think I shouted out things I shouldn't say on this show. And as did Morrow. I think Morrow was like, Jesus. Just crazy. What a spot. They replayed this a bunch. So if he rolls Keith Lee in and it's only a 2 count, there's then a fireman carry lands on his feet and hits a super kick. Then Keith Lee reaches for the Super Saiyan inside of him and hits the Spirit Bomb. But Dijakovic, the way he lands and sells it, flips backwards and rolls to his feet and basically stands up and is like, ah. And then Keith Lee hits him with another Spirit Bomb. And this time Dijakovic's like holding the back of his head like, no, you're not spiking me again. But he hits the move and he kicks out of it. They go up top. There's an avalanche Spanish fly. He goes up. He hits him with the avalanche Spanish fly, and he has Keith Lee in his sights. He goes to lift him in the torture rack for his feast your eyes, but he can't lift Keith Lee. He can't do it. He goes for it a second time. His back gives out. He turns around. He's picked up on the shoulders, and the jackhammer from Keith Lee, and he pins Dijakovic.
I liked the Dijakovic not being able to get Lee up, because we've seen him hit the move on Lee before, and
he's used the turnbuckle.
Other big guys, but he's used the turnbuckle for assistance, and it was pretty much, it defeated him, the fact he couldn't lift Keith Lee. I thought this match was fantastic. We've seen this match a bunch now in NXT alone, including the triple threat match. I think they've had 4 or 5 matches against each other,
and they're PWG.
And to me, these matches remind me of TLC, the early TLCs, because you go, how do you top the last one? Because we've seen, I think one of the matches we saw like a Spike Rana off the top.
Yeah.
We saw the Canadian Destroyer up off the top. And you go, I'm starting to kind of worry, because I don't know how much further these guys can go without killing each other.
They've done like Destroyers. They've done all this thing to the chair is crazy.
And absolutely, they still managed to find creative spots that look impressive for two guys these size to do. I really enjoyed the match. I thought it was the perfect choice of first match for the show, because everyone knew, any NXT fan, you know this is going to be good and you're excited. So to kick the show off with this, I thought was perfect.
This was awesome. There's a respect angle after the match. Both guys are beasts. Keith Lee like elevates Dijakovic to go up and like celebrate afterwards. Yeah, I love this. This was a banger. Just 2 big guys slugging it out and just killing each other. It makes me wonder, who does Keith Lee face at Tampa?
Yeah.
Where does that leave Dijakovic? So interesting, because I feel like I could watch these, like the Fight Forever thing. Fight Forever. Like legit for these guys. Like these guys could just this could get booked on a Wednesday night and I'd be like, okay, let's go.
I was surprised we never got the tag team of these two. Maybe it will come down the line, but I feel Lee...
Oh, that could be the thing too. They could challenge like the Broserweights or something.
And not defend the North American?
Maybe, I don't know.
In the YouTube chat, Dreadnought X agreed with me that there was definitely a touch of sloppiness on Dijakovic's part. And Hansi thinks Keith Lee is going to be the guy people point at when you ask, what do you think of when you think of the North American Championship? He thinks he's going to have this reign and people be like, yeah, Lee.
So who's Lee going to challenge then after? Yeah, I love this.
Yeah. I don't know yet. I mean, do you go back to like Roddy, who never lost it, Velveteen? Could you have some sort of three-way with those three? Because we're having the sort of blow-off match, it seems, on Wednesday between Roddy and Dream. So maybe they insert themselves into that program again.
We'll see, I guess. I kind of want him in another singles, but him beating up a bunch of guys is cool too. I love me some Keith Lee. Yeah. Limitless, baby. Dakota Kai versus Tegan Nox, the grudge match here in Portland. It's a street fight. Do you know what that means?
It means you fight in the street.
That's what this is. So the blood feud here has been going on, and this is the extra match that was added to TakeOver, essentially. Like, this is the extra one, the sixth one.
Yeah, it was strange because we had quite a short match on NXT TV a few weeks ago where Tegan Nox went over, kind of clean as well. So it was kind of strange having this match on the show.
But I think they showed that they kind of deserve to be on it. I really enjoyed it until we get to the end, maybe, possibly. So Dakota Kai, Tegan Nox, and right away, Dakota Kai attacks Tegan in the entrance because, they were friends. We were friends. But they're not friends anymore.
And Dakota Kai is dressed like a 14-year-old at the school disco.
Oh,
like
that's weird.
Who's just discovered black lipstick.
Oh.
It's like she's finally going through that kind of stage where she's experimenting.
Well, I was going to say Dakota Kai gets me high, but now that you said that, I don't want to say
Yeah, I was thinking about it as the match went on, and it's like,
I like this gear.
You've kind of like...
No, you're wrong. This gear is great. This gear is lit.
I've preferred her other looks.
Dakota Kai gets me high. She looked great. She looked like the movie The Warriors. She looked like she's ready for a street fight.
I thought she looked like a kid at a disco. Discovering themselves.
You mean that's the kid at the disco when Tegan Nox is the one who's dyeing her hair every week?
They're both kind of the kid at the disco here. Just gone to Claire's Accessories and got their first makeup bag. I don't know, one girl.
My first girlfriend ever in high school used to make me go into Claire's with her, and then I'd distract people, and she would steal some of the jewelry. But it was like the shittiest jewelry. Yeah, I was in accessories to the fact. I had to get that off my chest.
You were Kyle O'Reilly in every main event with Adam Cole. You're just there distracting the shopkeepers.
Okay, I've never told anyone
you need to go back and apologize to Claire.
This is over 10 years ago. What are you talking about? I was 16. I'm sorry. I had to get it off my chest. Maybe these two do shop at Claire's, but I hope so, because I always wonder. No, because you wouldn't want to wrestle with actual expensive stuff because it's gonna get knocked out in these matches.
True.
Like Jeff Hardy when he got his.
Yeah.
That was gross. Dakota Kai, Tegan Nox, they were best friends, but they're bitter enemies. It's a street fight. All good things must come to an end, and you're due for another injury, says Dakota in the video before the attack here. So they're fighting on the ramp, and then Tegan actually gets control and runs Dakota's face into this railing, and it looks like it actually smacks right face into it. Then spears Dakota through a barricade. Dakota fights back with this spike DDT on the outside. There's a cricket bat.
Yeah,
cricket.
I've never seen a cricket bat in WWE.
Cricket. I got some Shaun of the Dead vibes going on. I got some not Jason, the guy from Ninja Turtles. Looked so cool. She swings it at Tegan Nox, and she ducks, and it smashes and it cracks.
What I loved about this match, there were so many spots where someone is ducking out the way of the cricket bat, and they don't hold back on the swing at all. Which, if you slightly mistime it, you're killing her with this cricket bat. But they were swinging, this bat smashes in half. I thought it looked awesome.
Yeah. She ducked it so she didn't get red on her. Because it's Shaun of the Dead. It's Shaun of the Dead.
Got red on you.
Yeah, you got red on you. Dakota Kai then is like, holy shit, this thing just exploded. But then gets beat up from Tegan with the trash can. And then another spot, I did not like this spot. You have someone in the steps, in the corners there. and then you run at them. And instead of like kicking the trash can into them, because it's kind of set up that way, she runs and hits like a senton, which hurts her way more than it would hurt. And like, even Nigel, I went, oh, that's weird. That's what I said out loud. And then Nigel goes, that's interesting. I don't know really how. Why didn't you? He literally says what I was thinking. Why don't you just run and kick her? I was like, yeah.
Yeah, I felt maybe a lot of it was them trying to be different. Because I did feel this street fight was very different from other street fights I've seen. Even down to the weapons. They were just trying some different things. Which I appreciate. It's not always going to work, though.
Yeah. There was then chairs. There's a smash to the trash can right to like the face of Tegan Nox, which was crazy. There's super kicks. There's German suplex onto the trash can from Tegan Nox to Dakota. Looked awesome. Her back of her head like smashed through this thing.
Oh yeah, I don't know if this was meant to be smashing her head against it, and they kind of misjudged it, but it looked painful.
There's the chiropractor from Dakota Kai.
Cool move.
Funny name, right? Then Lady Kane goes for the chokeslam on the apron, but gets a back scorpion kick and then a back kick. But back in the ring, Tegan Nox hits the Molly go-round. So not only is she doing Kane's stuff, she's doing Molly Holly stuff. It's great. There was like this quick escape where she sets up Dakota Kai in a chair, like she's going to break her neck. But Dakota Kai, like literally so fast, so quickly escaped from it.
This was another one of those moments. Yeah. Again, like she didn't... Like, she would have punted her head off if she connected.
Died.
And also, this isn't easy, having your head kind of trapped in the chair, being able to get out like that.
She did it perfectly.
I've had my head stuck in the banisters before. It's not easy to get out. You're laughing because you've done it too, right?
I have a big head. So I learned my lesson really young, so I never did that. But Dakota Kai clearly could get out of it because she just flips right out of this duck stick kick. She then starts to beat up Tegan Nox, and she gets this like duct tape. And she duct tapes Tegan to the post and then hits her with a pump kick to the face because she's defenseless. The tape comes off eventually. She then grabs a laptop. Someone's just laptop. It's like not even a MacBook. It looks old. Like they went to the pawn shop earlier. They're like, we need this laptop. It's got Windows XP on it or something. And just no disrespect to Windows XP out there. Someone just got mad. I don't want to hate on Windows XP. And just goes to swing this laptop, but then there's a chain brought into this thing.
I would love if there was a little sight gag sort of after this match, and they go to Moro and whatever, and you see in the background a guy picking up his computer and going, my laptop. What the fuck?
Who did this?
Oh,
wow. Yeah. I mean, if that happened at any other workplace environment, like.
I mean, my laptop pretty much looks like it was used by them.
Yeah, maybe.
It's pretty
it's better
battered.
Condition than yours.
Yeah.
There's then a chain which is brought in, and there's like chain punches. Tegan wraps her fist and punches the exposed knee of the knee brace there. The history of the knee brace to Dakota. She's just beating her with this chain. She's then puts a chair on her leg and stomps on that as well. Shades of like Randy Orton and Edge kind of with that going on. And then hits not the Shining Wizard, but the shiniest wizard. Just crushing Dakota Kai, but she doesn't go for the pin. She stands up and says, I'm not done yet. I'm ending you.
And just as she said that, I said, oh no, she's going to lose.
And I mean, anytime you stop the match like that, Dean Malenko taught me that. Once you do that, once you pull his head up, nope, you're done.
Yeah, like it happened with Gargano in the Ciampa feud, their street fight or last man standing or whatever it is. It just makes the babyface look a bit of an idiot.
Because she wants the revenge. She wants to beat the shit out of her. So she goes to do that. She then goes and puts like this table in the ring, and then Dakota lays on the table and puts the chair around the neck of Dakota like a neck brace while she's laid out on the table. So she's going to jump stomping her through the table with the chair, which would kill this person. But here comes someone new into the shot. Correct me if I'm wrong. Reina Gonzalez?
She was formerly known as Reina Gonzalez, who we know from the second Mae Young Classic and Evolve. Used to wear the cowboy slacks with her butt cheeks out. Yeah. You remember her. You loved her. You loved her.
I don't know about that.
But now she's going as Raquel Gonzalez.
Raquel Gonzalez.
I prefer Reina. Reina's a better sounding name. And I believe, if I remember right from Evolve, they said she's a second generation superstar.
Well,
facially looked very like Sonya Deville. I was like, oh, is that
I thought
Sonya?
it was Sonya Deville.
Yeah, me too.
Reina Gonzalez appears and basically like hoofs Tegan Nox off this turnbuckle where Tegan rolls. Dakota had rolled off the table at this point, and Tegan's supposed to go through the table, but doesn't go through the table. Her head just bounces and it flies under her, so it's just chilling there, untouched. But Dakota goes on top of Tegan and pins her, and Dakota Kai wins the match thanks to Reina Gonzalez or Raquel. I was super into this match, and then this finish just fell super flat for me. Beth with the classic call, "Oh my God, it's Reina Gonzalez!" Like, what? Now me, watching NXT since like 2012, watching the Mae Young Classics, even it took me a second to go, oh yeah, okay, yeah, sure, okay, but cool, but why?
But then again, you had a criticism about AEW last week when they announced that Jeff Cobb was coming out.
Yeah,
and
but she's not Jeff Cobb.
Not many people know Jeff Cobb. Like, your casual viewers don't really know who Jeff Cobb is, unless you're watching Ring of Honor and the G1.
I want to give her the benefit of the doubt. I hope Evolve, she did some stuff. Usually that helps.
She definitely improved. Like, she had a little feud with Shotzi Blackheart.
Look, the crowd has been super hot this whole show, even during this whole match. But as soon as this finish happened, the crowd was chanting, they were booing, and they were chanting, "Who are you?" And like, cool, that's gonna happen regardless. But like, it was prominent.
How else do you do it though?
I don't know.
Because I think if you're gonna debut someone, you need it to be an impact, and it's the heels screwing over the baby faces.
Yeah.
I was wondering, because like, it feels like you're going to Tegan Nox and Candice LeRae versus Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez. Do you see
TV.
for TV or whatever? Do you see maybe this might have been an EO slot? Because we feel like, I still feel like EO and Candice never really
got that blow off.
Got that final blow off, and maybe that could have been a slot for her to tide her over before she's in the title picture. But obviously with the injury,
I could see Dakota in the main title picture, maybe perhaps after Tampa and stuff. But because this gives her this. It's her.
No, sorry, I mean EO.
Yeah,
EO team.
But when is she coming back? Not till after.
Well, that's what I'm saying, and I think that's why they've maybe gone with Raquel Diaz here. It's going to be like a Shawn Diesel kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Raquel Diaz is a big girl.
Yeah, definitely.
I can understand why people are mad, but also you're meant to feel mad. It's the heels. The heels have just screwed over the babyface, and
yeah, definitely.
I personally didn't like the spot where Tegan could have won and then goes for that extra revenge, because it makes her look a bit stupid. I think when a heel does that, like nah, and gets cocky and loses that way, that works. Babyface doing it, I'm not a big fan of. I can get why people are a bit down on it because they don't necessarily know who she is. But yeah, how else do you do it? It won't have as much impact on TV.
Yeah.
And if you want Dakota to win screwily, so
I want Dakota Kai to go forward. I'm a fan of her. I want to see this work.
Yeah.
With this Raquel, but I'm a fan of Dakota. I was really a big fan of this match, but that fell flat for me. I was like, you could have done it a little differently. I don't know. Maybe it was.
But then the match itself, as I mentioned, I thought was really creative for a street fight. Very different from other street fights I've seen. I was kind of a bit nervous going into it. I thought this might be one of those matches that unfortunately just doesn't work and be a bit of a disappointment.
And it worked.
And I thought it worked really well, and the crowd was so into it. So, you're right. The end did kill off the crowd, but I think if you're debuting someone, I don't really know how else to do it.
Good match though.
Oh, very good.
Yeah, Dakota Kai, Tegan Nox, good stuff.
Sorry, just going to go to the YouTube room, and Dreadnought X is very upset that you're insulting Windows XP. So
I told you someone was going to be mad.
Never do that
what did
again.
I said someone was going to be mad.
But yeah, people seem to, well, like you, they dug the match but wasn't into the finish, and not quite sure who Reina/Raquel Gonzalez is.
Who? There's an announcement, another takeover announcement.
Yes.
NXT UK on April 26th is having sorry, I gotta say this. Gotta get used to this one now. Here we go. Let me try it. First take Drake here. Let's go. Fuck.
You fucked up already.
NXT UK TakeOver Dublin. Fuck.
Try again. One more time.
NXT UK TakeOver Dublin, Ireland.
Yes.
TakeOver Ireland. Yes. TakeOver Dublin. April 26th.
So it's the first international NXT UK pay-per-view.
So is Ireland not in the UK?
The Republic of Ireland isn't.
Right.
No.
Okay.
Northern Ireland is.
So it's traveling.
So a day after David Starr versus John Moxley is announced.
Oh yeah. OTT.
Yeah.
So they're gonna try to steal those waters. The Irish. They're going in to invade Ireland.
Oh, that place looks popular right now.
They look like they like wrestling over there. We could make money there.
I assume Devlin Walter, is that what you see? Main event for that?
Right after they announced this and they put it out on their Twitters, Devlin, the Cruiserweight champion right now, tweeted out, "Give me Walter, you cowards." So maybe we do get that match.
Title v title.
Fuck, that means he's losing it this Wednesday to Leo Rush. And then,
I mean, he could go in as champion and try and be double champ.
I need to see that. Sounds great. I think that should be the main event.
I think it's one that Triple H has wanted to do, and
Sure.
I think it's by putting the Cruiserweight Championship on him, it's putting a few more eyes on him and trying to get the North American crowd a bit more aware of who he is.
Yeah.
So he seems like a bigger deal going up against Walter.
He's coming here to Toronto area for the Destiny Wrestling.
Okay.
So I kind of want to check it out, depending what the matches. Some of those matches over there are not that good. So NXT TakeOver Dublin is coming soon, April 26th. That's a long ways away. So, but I'm assuming we'll do some sort of show in capacity for that on our Patreon. Up next, the match some people are saying is the most anticipated match of the night, the dream match, if you will, the NXT dream match. Old NXT meets new NXT. The future is the past, and the past is the future. Whatever that was. The video package for Johnny Gargano and Finn Balor. There's a recap of the big heel turn from Finn Balor when he kicked Johnny in the head. Twitter going wild. It didn't show our tweets though. It didn't show our tweets in this reaction.
What's our Twitter?
At upNXT Podcast.
There we go.
At upNXT Podcast on Twitter for all updates and follow the show even when you're not listening. There's the clip of after this Finn heel turn, because this happened quite a while ago.
Yeah.
Where Finn Balor was caught outside of an airport from TMZ, and TMZ's like, "Hey, why did you kick Johnny in the head?"
This was going to be the War Games match, so we're talking November, so 3 months ago, yeah.
And he's like, "Why did you kick Johnny in the head?" And he's out walking to his cab outside of an airport, and he goes, "I had to shake the trees and see what falls down." He's like, "Yeah, that was not a good Irish accent, though."
Yeah, you've done better.
Yeah, I am Irish. Look at me. Look at me. I get called Irish all the time. Part Irish. He says, "I don't watch this business. This business watches me." The main roster, that's Hollywood. Special effects and makeup. But you see, NXT is Broadway. So I'm here to perform. And he's going to kill Johnny, and Johnny's going to kill him. I love this video. It put together all the months of stuff that has happened. Like, again, This is prolonged so long, and it takes place tonight. Now, Johnny Gargano on Twitter was saying that, tonight is kind of a comeback of sorts of a different side of Johnny wrestling, the evil side that we've seen him with the Venom and stuff.
Yeah, he tweeted out a picture of his classic logo and then flickering with the sort of jagged one he used when he was heel.
Venom. We are Venom. But we predicted it wouldn't be Venom, but it would be Carnage. Johnny Carnage comes down to the ring, some sick gear. Johnny's always got the best gear. If you're a superhero comic book nerd, as are we, he's got the best gear.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, awesome. And Finn Balor, who's known to dress up like Venom and Carnage, too.
True, yeah.
Did not come out to that. There's a guy in, the second row holding up a Finn sign that looks like Carnage, but Johnny's the one dressed as Carnage. So I thought that was interesting. So Johnny Gargano versus Finn Balor, the grudge match, the dream match. Both guys go back and forth, very technical. They're kind of on the same page. They're not the biggest guys, but they're fast and they're very smooth.
They're trying to out-wrestle each other to start with.
Yeah, very classic, old-school chain wrestling. Looks good. Johnny Gargano, beard game strong. Same with Finn.
I didn't like it.
You didn't like it?
It's getting a bit scraggly.
Well, you know what that's telling you.
Yeah.
You grow a beard, You turn heel.
Well, it was getting into Jay White territory. It was a bit scraggly.
Whoa, how dare you.
It wasn't a clean beard. It wasn't a well-kempt beard.
Get out of here.
No.
Get out of here. His beard, you know why he's growing? Because he's turning heel.
Look, I'm being honest here. He's my best mate, all right? And I'm like...
You're still shook, but we'll get there. Yeah, I get it. Okay, sorry. I didn't mean to pour salt on the wound. So there's a chop fest where Finn is just lighting up Johnny. And when I mean lighting up, he's kind of leaking. Morrow says he's medium rare. His chest is like open, like it's bleeding from these chops. He then chops Finn back, and Finn gets super red as well. It's awesome. They're like killing, but like Gargano's looks like a piece of steak.
Yes,
looks just fucked up. Like nobody bleeds my own blood. There's a spear on the apron from Johnny. There's then Johnny eats like a sling blade from Finn on the outside. And there's like this submission hold from Finn where the announcers mentioned that Finn is now attacking the arteries of Johnny Gargano. Yes. And in a fight, I don't know about you, but
I always go for the arteries.
Obviously, you go for the arteries.
Yeah.
Quick question: where are the arteries? Is that like your wrists?
They're all over your body.
Oh, okay.
You've got your arteries are the ones that pump blood really quick. Okay. So if you cut an artery, you'll be dead very quick.
Okay, I knew that.
They're the ones that. In films, like the blood squirting out. Yeah. So you got one in your, like the main one's in your neck, and I think there's one in your thigh groin area.
Wow. Ooh, I don't want that one.
Yeah, that's where the vampires the kinky vampires. Yeah.
All right, I'm more interested. So I learned something today on this podcast. Well, he's attacking the arteries. Finn Balor blocks an enziguri, goes up top for like a dragon screw into the ropes on Gargano. Finn is like working this more like super aggressive side, like way better for his character.
It's pretty much all the moves he used to do, but just quicker and sharper. And he used to be quite graceful as a babyface. He'd sort of float around the ring gracefully, whereas now he's actually trying to hurt you.
Yeah, he's the rock and roller again. He's that old character.
This is how when he was a babyface and would do the demon character. This is how I wanted him to wrestle. Yeah, because it was my big issue with the demon. He pretty much just came out in body paint
and streamers,
and red lights and streamers. But he never changed his style, and I think this should have been more his demon.
Because here he's like a badass, like I picture like he looks like an Armani model, but he's like rough around the edges and he's like nasty Irishman is what I see from this, like Boondock Saints kind of style. Like he's hard hitting, he's putting the finger guns all the time. He's just badass. Eventually he's got to turn back to a face because like he's just too hot for this. But this character is so awesome. Like the difference from watching him on the main roster is night and day, I would say. It's like this is him having fun as much as the promos leading him saying he didn't care about that. This is totally him getting the artistic shit, Broadway, as he said. Yeah, so he's attacking, he's like super aggressive. He's working the leg of Gargano, and he's like does this inverted figure four lock. Johnny fights out of it. Johnny counters the 1916, but sends him into the steps. There's a rolling senton to the outside, a slingshot spear. He goes for the satellite DDT, but gets into the final cut for a 2 count.
What I loved here was these two haven't wrestled each other on WWE. I'm not even sure before that whether they'd have met.
True.
But they'd clearly done their research on each other because they both had scouted a lot of their moves. And there were a lot of like Balor catches the slingshot spear, I believe, went for the final cut, which got reversed into the satellite, which still got reversed. So they were always a step ahead of the other person. Yeah. And there were a lot of that during the match.
There's like a super kick from Johnny. The slingshot DDT is countered. Then the 1916 is countered. Again, there's the lawn dart, the overhead back kick or the Pele kick to Johnny. But Johnny falls and lands on Finn from taking this. So there's an enziguri from Johnny. While selling the enziguri, Finn does the overhead Pele kick, connecting to Johnny. And Johnny falls and gets the pin for a 2 count there. Great spot here from Johnny, and just looked great. There's then a slingshot DDT counter. Again, there's the overhead, a double stomp off the top rope into like the slingshot, the thunderstruck DDT for a 2 count as well. They both get to their feet. There's a standoff. Johnny does the DIY pose and goes for like the super kick, but eats the sling blade. then gets up and does the pose again and eats a sling blade again. There's the John Woo drop.
I like that because you thought, oh, okay, the second time he's going to hit it and still got a sling blade.
Well, you shouldn't just pose and
we know what you're trying to do. Maybe surprise him with the kick.
Yeah, just actually kick him. There's the John Woo, but it's missed, and Gargano gets him in the Gargano escape, keeps locking him in. Finn is doing an awesome job of selling this. So is Gargano. He gets out of it, double stomps Gargano to the chest, goes for the 1916 again, which I keep writing 1917.
Yeah.
Great film. There's the 1916 counter into the Gargano escape again, but gets the ropes. The John Woo drop kick from Johnny to Finn to the guardrail on the outside, stealing, because he's like, I want to get revenge for you doing that to me.
And the crowd do not like this.
No, they booed him.
They're booing.
Haven't these fans known by now? By the end of the match, you're supposed to be on by cheering Johnny now. By now. Like you should. I said like, oh, this crowd's gonna turn just like they always do. But this time they were like kind of booing Johnny. It's like they knew something. They knew. So Johnny gets heat for doing that, and he's like about to slam Finn through the announce table, and looks before he takes the monitors off, and doesn't take the monitors off. Goes to grab Finn, but Finn turns it around and throws Johnny like body first into them. So he got a little bit of what he was asking for there, like a gourd buster type move. Finn then sets up Johnny on one of the tables, runs off the other tables toward him, and hits the John Woo dropkick, sending Gargano flying off the table into the guardrail.
That looked great.
Just crazy. Running through the tables and then drop kicking him. Just insane. And then throws Johnny into the ring, hits the coup de grace off the top. He then has the finger guns. He picks Johnny up, hits the 1916 and nails him, just drills him, kills him, drops him on his head.
Yeah, Gargano sold this like a champ. Death. He was pretty much vertical and just came crashing down on his neck.
And Finn Balor pins Johnny Gargano. That was epic. NXT's greatest is Finn Balor.
Yeah, this didn't disappoint at all. This is exactly the kind of wrestling I enjoy watching.
Yes.
Gargano's one of my favorites, and we've been saying on upNXT that I feel this is make or break for Balor. He had a good match against Riddle. It didn't absolutely blow me away.
Yeah.
And same with, was it he's fought Ciampa on TV as well, I believe. If like Gargano at TakeOver, if you're not going to have a good match there, like it's you need to start asking questions.
Yeah.
And they absolutely delivered. I love the whole back and forth, like the scouting of each other's moves. Mm-hmm. As you mentioned, Balor's just mean streak now, and yeah, the crowd keep on wanting to boo Gargano. So I feel the switch at the end of the show might have been a wise move.
Yeah.
I feel people are maybe starting to be a bit stale on him.
Sure, and they made the right move, I guess, doing what they do. But we'll get to that. But yeah, I enjoyed this match. This delivered. This was the match I wanted to see the most, and they knocked it out the park. Just fantastic. Both guys are on their game, and Johnny Gargano could afford the loss. Like part of me I was out of my seat jumping around for this match, as I do most Johnny matches, and. I was like, okay. I'm like talking myself after the loss of like, it's like when someone's sport team, it's like they lost a lot of money. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Johnny didn't need this.
I think we all viewed this as the unofficial number one contenders match,
yes.
Which you often see the big non-title match seems to be that way.
Yeah. And
I imagine we're going in the direction of Balor going after the title next, which it's a weird dynamic, heel and heel. Obviously we know by the end of the show where Gargano's going next. Looking at the YouTube room, Hansi thought this was Balor's best match in WWE for a while. Him and Gargano meshed together well.
For a while. Name me a better Finn Balor match in WWE.
Yeah, I'm with you there. Even his first run in NXT, I'd probably put this above that.
Yeah, definitely.
He feels Balor needs an NXT Farley with him and would nominate Damian Priest.
Oh, so Finn Balor's going to become a vampire too?
Yeah.
Then Shayna Baszler will join the group?
He was attacking the arteries.
Oh my god.
Conspiracy.
What have I been saying?
Yep.
What have I been saying, people? Vampires.
David Double says, if you don't have a banger with Gargano at TakeOver, then you aren't that good, let's be honest.
Yep.
If this match sucked, it would have said a lot about Finn. Kind of understands why they felt the need to turn Gargano heel after this match, though. He feels a little flat as a babyface, and there's no heel for him to feud with at the moment. And also, isn't it ironic that Gargano has been the reason Cole has won his last 2 title defenses? Cole owes Gargano a beer.
A few. So after the match, he kind of like goes on top of Gargano and like is in his face, and he's like, "I fucking told ya." And he's like being an
he's
asshole.
like grabbing him, like choking him almost.
Yeah.
And was it Drake? Yeah, I think it was Drake Younger refereeing this match, wasn't he? He was like, come on, stop that.
Get out of that.
Stop that.
Valentine's Day's over. What are you doing? Oh, sorry. So after that, he's like walking up the apron, and he looks in the camera and he says, he like name drops a few people, Matt Riddle, all these people, and he says, anyone who wants it can come and get it. NXT is mine. So Finn Balor could be in contention for like the title. Like this was a top singles match besides the title match. So I love this match. This was fantastic. Must watch if you ask me. If you're just the person who maybe goes through and sifts through some stuff, this is one to watch, definitely. Gargano doesn't miss.
He really doesn't, does
Johnny Carnage, Johnny Beard, Johnny
Beard.
We have Undisputed Era backstage with Kathy Kelly. R.I.P.
Oh.
Leave the memories alone.
Yeah.
Yeah. What are we going to do without Kathy Kelly?
I'm going to miss her.
I'm going to miss her too.
Do you think it's because Finn's in NXT now? Weren't they a thing?
I think they were a thing. I thought she was with Velvet. I mean, I don't know. I don't want to be in their personal affairs. I don't want to, you know. But
yeah,
leave the memories alone.
She was good. I liked Kathy Kelly a lot. I thought
she definitely grew on me a lot.
She was very good at her job.
Yeah.
Yeah. So rip.
Leave the memories alone. Yeah. I mean, but that means.
But we've got Taynara back.
We got Taynara back.
Taynara's back. It seems.
Yeah. True.
So
optimism.
You can't have them all.
Yeah.
You can't have them all.
But with Kathy Kelly leaving, that means someone else is going to have to come in and fill her spot.
Right.
So, you know, that's one thing to look forward to.
Yes.
Undisputed Era backstage with Kathy Kelly, and they're asked about the tag team title defense coming up and Adam Cole's NXT title defense coming up. And the person you wouldn't expect to grab the microphone to defend these matches is Roderick Strong, who I always say is the underrated talker on the microphone.
He's a strange one.
I love him on the microphone, and I'll fight you. He says, oh, by the way, he's got the stickers on.
Oh, of course. He
always
does.
Always wearing the stickers, Roddy. Always.
We got to know it's official.
See you, fam. We know. He says, Velveteen Dream, he's a dead man. He's a dead man. The Dream is a dead man. Tonight, the baddest team on God's green earth show the loser weights why we're the best. And then Adam Cole shows that delusional Ciampa that Undisputed Era will, the prophecy will continue on. Loved Roderick Strong cutting this promo for his boys here because he doesn't get the shine. It's always Adam Cole.
Yeah.
And I love Roddy on the mic. He's just funny to me. I love it. He's the best. So he's not even in a match and he gets to hype them up. So we'll see. Will the prophecy continue tonight? Up next, the NXT Women's Championship. Rhea Ripley defending against Bianca Belair in the #1 contenders match for WrestleMania.
Yes.
The title means nothing now is what they're trying to tell me. Rhea Ripley and Bianca have their beef with Charlotte. So we were wondering what's going to be the match there at WrestleMania. Bianca impressed in the Rumble. Rhea Ripley's kind of fallen off a little bit for me, at least.
Yeah, I think when this match was first announced, Bianca versus Ripley, a lot of people thought it was a foregone conclusion. Ripley is just a stepping stone before going to Mania. And then I feel in recent weeks, especially with the Rumble, Bianca's really impressed and really turned heads. And people started to have that doubt in their mind we've seen in the past with, say, Kofi Kingston last year and Daniel Bryan. They are open to change plans if someone kind of catches fire.
Yeah.
And I feel Bianca, not to that level, but has started catching fire a bit.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
So I was thinking, could they be going in a 3-way direction? Because that segment last week between the three of them was fantastic, I thought.
It's interesting. I would rather Bianca Charlotte, but I
Me
guess
too.
we had to see this match to find out. Rhea Ripley, Bianca Belair, women's title. The match starts with Rhea just like bossing Bianca around because she's like bigger than her, flipping her around. Bianca does a backflip but eats the boots of Rhea Ripley. Belair locks in a cravat, goes for the standing moonsault for a 2 count. Belair there's like a suplex battle. They're both trying to suplex each other. And Belair wins it, but couldn't quite like hold her up.
We've seen her do the delayed vertical
Yeah.
a lot, but obviously Ripley's a little bigger, and she kind of just dropped her.
It's fine, but yeah, it was. Hopefully they're all right because it looked like it was awkward. She locks Rhea in a full Nelson, then a back body drop from Rhea, and then like a seated drop kick to Belair's face. There's an electric chair going face first, Bianca, only a 2 count. Then the Mayor's Grasp. The Mayor's Grasp?
Yes, it's the kind of Texas cloverleaf, but you lift them and they're between your legs and you're swinging them around.
Yeah, because I'm really tall, this is what a move I used on like my little brothers and siblings and neighbors and stuff.
Right.
This because I could you could just lock them in and lift them in the air and swing them essentially. In realistically, she should be swinging people like more viciously, but she's got this locked in. But somehow Belair escapes. There's then a slap fest. There's the hair whips. She whips her hair back and forth. There's the military press from Belair. There's the handspring moonsault, but the knees are up. The riptide is blocked. The KOD is blocked. Bianca hits a football-type spear. There's then up on the top, there's like a tope con hero from Bianca to Rhea on the outside, which is awesome. They go back inside. Belair blocks the sunset flip, but Rhea somehow like counters a counter and hits the riptide, the pump handle like power bomb thing. And pins Bianca Belair just like that.
I like the creative ways Ripley has got into the riptide. So here it was kind of trapped in the corner and hooked the arm. We saw the cool one with the handcuffs against Shayna. I thought this match over-delivered for me. I like both women, but I think after that Shayna Mia Yim match last year, the matches where you've got the two people with a similar style, like they're both bigger, stronger, like powerhouse women in the division. I worry it doesn't really mesh, but I thought these two had a really good match. I think Bianca's the star in my mind. I think she looked great. Bianca, she was repping the Black History Month gear, but I think they're just sticking with their guns and going with Ripley now. Bianca will hopefully have her time. I can see her possibly moving up sooner rather than later, and maybe never holding that NXT gold.
Leave the memories alone again.
Yeah,
damn, we lost so many great ones. I enjoyed it as well. I think it was awesome, but I kind of wanted Bianca to get the win here. I'm not completely sold on Rhea Ripley. Bianca looked like she carried this match for me, but Rhea Ripley, like, I want her to improve and stuff. So a match with Charlotte, that's where you can shine, really. So I guess that I think we can get excited for Rhea Ripley and Charlotte. I think it can deliver. But speaking of Charlotte,
so in the room, Hansi really wishes they called an audible and had a non-finish, making it a triple threat for Mania. Also thinks Bianca and Ripley are going to have a rivalry that lasts a long time. Like, they'll keep revisiting that. The room seemed to enjoy this match as well.
Charlotte attacks Rhea Ripley out of nowhere, beats her up, hits the natural selection, and says, "Hey, Rhea, I thought about it. I'll see you at WrestleMania." So Rhea Ripley, Charlotte Flair, WrestleMania. Pirate ship.
Yeah, she also beats up Bianca as she's leaving.
So
I think that's a match we're going to see on NXT TV. I think we're going to see Charlotte Bianca on TV.
Make it a triple threat.
Yeah.
Do it.
I would like that.
You don't even go here is what the crowd chanted to Charlotte after this. Awesome. We go now to the tag team title match. It's the Undisputed Era defending their titles against the newly formed odd couple of NXT, the Broserweights. They made it. They made it to Portland.
Thank God, I was worried.
Oh, man. They got themselves in the boot. And the Broserweights, we were wondering, well, how are they going to come to the ring? Did they bring the... What did they originally call it? The Broserweight Mobile?
Yeah. And we were all going, why are you calling it that?
You were very adamant that they should have just called it the Broser Mobile.
Oh, is that the Brosermobile or just the Brosermobile?
Yeah. And that's kind of what they called it tonight.
Called it the Brosermobile.
The Brosermobile comes out, the golf cart with the trophy on top. And here is Matt Riddle's driving. So Pete Dunne, again, should have been driving. Don't know what the legal recreational laws are in Portland, but I'm sure Matt Riddle has figured that out by now. And Pete Dunne and Matt Riddle are wearing the brand new WWE Shop T-shirts. How much fish could Bobby Fish fry if Bobby Fish could fry fish?
Yes.
Hilarious. I kind of want that shirt. It's one shirt
people are going to buy it for sure.
It's a shirt that you wear to a bar or something, and someone's definitely coming up to you to talk to you and being like, what's the deal with that?
Either what's that or yes, I like that.
Someone's going to be like, I don't know what that fucking means, but I like it. I support you. I know it's a conversational starter. I'm just saying.
For sure, yeah.
That's a peacocking move. Yeah, definitely. How much fish? The Broserweights, they got a microphone. Matt Riddle says... Hey, Portman.
Oh, he was on one.
Again, I knew he figured out the recreational laws there because, damn. I mean, if they're growing all these trees to cut down with these buzzsaws that in the logo for TakeOver Portland, they're growing other things too.
Oh, for sure.
Believe you me, Vancouver bud, bro. It's good shit, bro. He says. Bruiserweights got. He didn't say bruiserweights. He said, fucked up.
He said like the brosers weights. The brosers weights.
I'm losing it. He says, I got one question. How much fish could Bobby Fish fry if Bobby Fish could fry fish? And then he asks it again, and there's like a sing-along with fishes animation at the bottom of your screen that goes along with it. There's an animatronic thing on the
There's like Bobby Face's fish on like a
Bobby Fish's face, you mean?
Yeah, Bobby Fish's face on a fish. That's one as well.
Holy shit. So he's getting the crowd to sing along. And the crowd was like, there was a lot of people that were so into it, but a lot of people that were not.
Considering how loud they were all night, like the reaction they just gave Charlotte, like that was like nuclear heat there. They were booing, they were going crazy, they were lapping it all up.
Yeah.
I would have thought, because this is a fairly fresh thing as well. Fresh fish. Yeah, they weren't as on board with it as I thought they would be.
Damn. Well, he sang it quite a few too many times. I love it though. I want this.
Paul in the room says Portland agrees with me that Bobby Fish song is dumb as shit.
Go to Matt Riddle's Twitter. He posted some fan like mixed it so it's to his theme song like and it's how much fish could Bobby Fish. It's fuck. Oh my god, new ringtone. So while he's continuing singing the Undisputed Era, the best part about this bit is Bobby Fish is so mad.
Yeah.
That he's got this rhyme.
How dare you? How dare you?
Let me at him. And he's like, yo, calm down. He's like, no, I'm going to fucking kill him.
It's like, about frying fish.
I'm frying fish. I'm mad. And it's like, yo, man, it doesn't matter. He's just so mad about it. So they rush the Broserweights at the Brosermobile, to the Brosermobile, and they attack them. So it's a brawl. It's a strike fest all over the place. They're fighting each other. They get in the ring finally. There's gut wrenches from Riddle on Bobby Fish, so he's frying him. He tags in Pete. He's doing elbow stomps and breaks like Kyle's like elbow with those stomps. And Beth Phoenix is like, well, Kyle's air guitar career could be over because his wrist and elbow. There's an X-Plex onto Fish onto the apron. So it's like onto Kyle, X-Plexing him onto Fish onto the apron. Looks cool. Peter Dunne, as Kyle would call him, kicks the shit out of Kyle O'Reilly, probably because he calls him that. And then he's like German suplexing both guys. Riddle's in there with Bro to sleep and a German of his own. And then like an assisted X-Plex powerbomb. Just crazy. These guys are on fire. There's a moonsault to the outside, the floating bro, but the knees are up from Kyle. And then Pete Dunne goes to kick Fish, but he misses and kicks the post, and the post just rung. It sounded like a bell. Ouch. Don't know how they do that spot without making it.
It's when they do the chop as well.
Yeah, like how nasty. Do you not do that? How does that not hurt? Kyle and Riddle, they're fired up, beating each other. They're German suplexing each other. They're kneeing each other. But like this is my highlight of this match is just these two. I need to see a singles run from Kyle O'Reilly because he's killing it.
Yeah, he might be the most underrated guy in the whole company. Definitely. This guy, like, as a wrestler, he's so good. His style is so cool.
He hulks up. He's like,
he's fantastic.
Forearms. Oh, it's crazy. But Dunne gets back in, and Peter Dunne goes after Kyle's fingers, and he starts going after them. And then he's also, like, biting fingers. There's the lunatic lariat, and then, again, the lunatic lariat from Kyle. He does it both. There's then a flying armbar from Pete Dunne, which we're talking about Kyle's wrestling, but Pete Dunne just does the flying arm. I've been talking about week by week whenever we see Kushida do the flying armbar. He does like the hip toss into it or whatever. What the fuck? Like, that's crazy. That would be a finish in a real... That's a finish in a real fight. But, like, Pete Dunne doing it here just looks awesome. There's then Kyle O'Reilly gets out of it somehow. There's ankle locks from both guys on everything. Kyle then locks in a sharpshooter on Pete Dunne. And I found it odd that Mauro Ranallo called it the Scorpion Deathlock. That broke my heart.
I found that weird because I've noticed they call it that on AEW, which makes sense because it's like the TNT show and Sting was known for that. But Kyle being a Canadian and
Mauro,
Brett being in mainly for his WWE run, and they've rebuilt that bridge and stuff.
Yeah.
And Mauro being Canadian as well.
Yeah.
Seemed an odd thing to call it.
Maybe it's because we've just been watching a lot of Bret Hart this past week for our Best of Bret Hart Valentine's Day edition of Best Match Ever.
Yes.
Patreon.com. Because I've been seeing a lot of sharpshooters this week, and then Kyle busted out. So maybe we got Kyle inspired here. But Kyle doing a sharpshooter, awesome. Awesome touch. I'm calling it a fucking sharpshooter.
Yeah,
as
I'm
you
Canadian.
should. Yes, definitely. But the sharpshooter doesn't finish it. While this move is in, Riddle has Fish on his back in like a chokehold, and then Riddle runs and kicks Kyle and then drops Fish. Just impressive. One-man wrecking crew. There's Germans, and then, of course, there's breaking fingers. Riddle's back in. There's flying knees.
I love this finger spot. So O'Reilly has... it's Riddle, isn't it? O'Reilly has Riddle in another submission, and Dunne is trapped in the corner, and Fish is just holding him there, not allowing him to break up the hold.
Yeah.
And that's when he snaps the fingers.
Oh.
Or should I say, break your fingers!
Break your fingers, yeah.
It's one of the things I found becomes a bit contrived when he's doing it every match, but I liked it here because it made sense. Like, oh, you're in my way, you're blocking me. Snap.
Break your fingers.
Yes.
And then he bit the fingers. Bit your
Nasty.
That's gross.
Brits fucking hate fingers.
Yeah, why do British people hate fingers?
Suck.
You don't know where Kyle O'Reilly's fingers have been. You don't want to put them in your mouth. That's gross. So there's the breaking the fingers. There's the stomping on the fingers. There's Riddle who spears Pete by accident, so you think there's some sort of malfunction at the junction, Mauro would say. There's chasing the dragon on Pete Dunne, but he kicks out, and the whole crowd can't believe it. There's "Come on, Kyle" from Bobby Fish, which reminded me of South Park. And Riddle's in. There's X-Plex into the powerbomb. That's where this happens. There's the double knee bomb. There's the double knees to Kyle. And then they hit the double bro to sleep kick enziguri combo to Bobby Fish. And they fry him. And Matt Riddle and Pete Dunne, the Broserweights, are the new tag team champions in NXT. Crazy.
This match didn't disappoint. I think we all thought it was going to be fantastic.
Yeah.
They just all gel together so well. Matt Riddle is so good at that hot tag spot in a tag match where he's just taking out everyone. His moves, like the running into the brotons, the chest kicks, the exploders,
powerbomb.
It's such a good moment in the match. There were a lot of innovative tag moves, and the submission game from Undisputed Era I really enjoyed.
Yeah.
It was time for Undisputed Era to drop the titles and move on to something else.
Every takeover, they got to regroup.
Yeah, and I feel in 6 months' time, when this team finally breaks up, and I would assume Dunne turns on Riddle, that's going to be such a hot feud.
Yeah, true. Definitely. I would like to see that. Yeah, I really like this match. It was lit, dare I say. Matt Riddle definitely thought it was. I really enjoyed it. All four guys are just fantastic. The stoner comedy thing is totally directed to people like me, and it's kind of not landing as well. So they maybe need to take it back a notch. Maybe they just turned it up too much. You need to let it kind of air out. Maybe maybe make it more realistic. But the match delivered for me. They got me right back in, and I love it. Matt Riddle's a star. I need to see him and Lesnar one day. You're gonna see it. You got to see it.
I hope so.
That was awesome. What a tag match. But it's time for the main event of the evening. The NXT Championship. Tommaso Ciampa versus Adam Cole. Now, Adam Cole beat Johnny Gargano for the title. Been on this crazy reign as champion. Ciampa never lost the title, so he's getting his rematch that he was deserved for so long. Again, another prolonged match here that was built for so long, but now we're getting to see it, and it's Ciampa versus Adam Cole. We got to see the contract signing, which was awesome. Sold you on this match completely. Signed in blood was fantastic. So I'm super ready for this. This promo video is awesome. They start off with Cole keeps trying to run from Ciampa, but keeps getting grappled down. There's a pump kick on the outside. Cole does the Ciampa taunt on the apron where he sits and pats himself on. What does he do? He claps.
He's patting himself on the back. Bravo, you did well there.
We gotta start doing it. It's like the Troy and Abed.
Right. Yeah.
From Community. Someone got that. So there's knee strikes on the outside, and he's pummeling on Cole from Ciampa. There's more knee strikes to Cole off the apron. Cole just keeps ducking him and running out of it. There's a running knee to Cole on the guardrail, and Ciampa's just fired up. There's running knees everywhere. Everyone gets a running knee. And he hits like this running knee into the guardrail, and he's like, because of where he does it, he now is like kind of into the crowd, and Ciampa's just like, after hitting this move, like just standing there like, and a guy in the front row puts his hand up to like high five Ciampa and is like, yeah, but his hand is up in the air for a high five for like so long, and Ciampa finally, instead of high fiving him, grabs him by the head and kisses him on the head.
While we're talking about the crowd, we got to give a shout out to the two old dudes.
Oh my god!
In about, what was it, the fourth row?
Oh my god! Hard cam, fourth row. Yeah. The two old dudes dancing all
Just
night. Bushwhacker.
They were doing the bushwhacker dance.
All sorts
they
of
were
lane
raising
dance.
Raising their glasses.
Yeah.
They were having a hell of a night.
They were turning up, which is fucked considering this was in Portland. It has the time difference.
Yeah.
It was in the afternoon there when we're all watching it at 8 p.m. Wild. Just wild. So I love Ciampa kissing this guy on the floor.
Oh, yeah.
Just awesome. He's like blessing him. Then there's they're fighting on the outside. They get back into the inside. Actually no. Before that happens, this is a fucked up spot. Adam Cole hits a wheelbarrow suplex to Ciampa on the announce table. Not on the announce table, but like on the edge of the announce table. This looked insane, ridiculous.
Ciampa took this really well. Like you can see in the replay, he's protecting himself.
Yeah,
like,
but still,
the margin for error is so
Holy.
slim, and obviously it's building in with the neck story. We all know what Ciampa's been through with that neck of his.
Yeah, but holy, this spot is crazy.
Yeah,
they showed it like 5 times, and it's insane. Like what? Who was like, hey, should we do this spot? Yeah, all right. It just looked insane.
Yeah.
Holy, it instantly got me hooked into this match right away. I was like, genuinely concerned for Ciampa. There's a backstabber again, but like not even to the back, but like to the back of the neck, because he's just targeting this from Adam Cole. Ciampa then goes for the Widow's Bell, but it's blocked. Cole goes for Panama, but there's a knee to the face. There's a series of clotheslines. There's a huge German. He goes for like a torture rack power bomb. Cole fakes him out with super kicks. Then there's the Ushi-Goroshi, the bull killer. Only a 2 count. There's an avalanche, like Panama City Sunrise, blocked with an avalanche air raid crash from Ciampa. This is how he pinned him in War Games. Looked awesome hitting him with this move.
Well, he took it off the top of the cage.
Yeah. So
he's only about 3 feet in the air.
So now
he
kicked out. Yeah, they actually say that on commentary. They're like, well, last time was on a cage. So
through a table.
Yeah, 2 tables. So yeah, definitely. Then there's like a power bomb on the announce table, and then it doesn't break. So Ciampa then goes on the other side, picks Adam Cole up, and power bombs him through the table. This time, busting it, exploding this table. It just looks awesome. He's then back in the ring trying to pin Cole. Flying knees everywhere. There's super kicks from Cole. There's a Project Ciampa, the powerbomb back blower thing for a 2 count. Just crazy. They're doing the standoff with the booyahs. The crowd is eating this up. I am super into this. There's a suicide dive from Adam Cole, which we don't see often, which is odd because then he gets caught into a knee again.
I really like that he's trying a move that he doesn't normally do, and it fucks up because it's not part of his arsenal.
Sure.
I thought that was a really clever thing to do in this match.
It was wild. So Cole is then thrown back in the ring, but as Ciampa goes back in, he gets hit with like a rope-assisted like spike pile driver almost, like really crazy, just insane. Then picks up Ciampa and hits my favorite wrestling move, the suplex lift into the Ushi-Goroshi, the Sushi-Goroshi, and just because he's attacking the neck, right? This is to the neck, just looks deadly, but Ciampa kicks out. The crowd goes insane on this. There's a slap fest. They're going back and forth. There's the last shot to the back of the neck again to Ciampa, but the veteran here, the old champion, rolls out of the ring. He's smart enough to duck this pinfall, even though he's kind of knocked out. Cole then goes for the Panama Sunrise on the apron, but it's countered into an air raid crash on the apron from Ciampa. Just insane. The crowd starts chanting, holy shit, Mamma Mia, all that. Just crazy. Just drops him. Just insane. But then if that's not enough, Adam Cole off the announce table hits the Panama Sunrise. Just wild. But the Widow's Bell is hit. There's the fairy tale ending, but it's only a 2 count. Huge bit there. Cole gets like some sort of crossface. Ciampa retaliates with one. Undisputed Era runs down, and Roddy distracts the referee. There's the high-low, but Ciampa kicks out of that as well. There's the Widow's Bell to Roddy, and then Ciampa hits this like running corkscrew to the outside onto like all of them.
Yeah, the Pescado over the top,
Holy.
right? Yeah.
He spins, hits all of them, taking them all out. Then there's like, as he gets back in the ring, Cole super kicks him, hits the last shot. Ciampa kicks out at 2.9, just right before it. Holy shit, we all bit, everyone bit. Ciampa's still in this. Cole gets the title as Undisputed Era, still trying to distract him, but the referee gets shoved out of the ring. Adam Cole hits a low blow. Ciampa hits a bigger low blow. He goes for the fairy tale ending, the Angel's Wings again, and the title is there, and he's thinking about using the title. And Johnny Gargano shows up.
Wearing a DIY shirt.
Wearing a DIY shirt, supporting his brethren here, has the title in his hand, but looks at Ciampa in the eye, and this rebel heart takes the title out of the hands of Daddy and takes Goldie and smashes it in the face of his best friend, or former best friend. Adam Cole lands on top of Ciampa. The ref is back in, counts the 3. This rebel breaking my heart. Oh boy, this is insane. Adam Cole retains the NXT championship. How could Johnny Gargano do this?
I know. I mean, where shall we start with this? I guess the match itself. I really enjoyed this match. It's interesting watching Ciampa work as a babyface still. I know he's been back a few months now.
Yeah.
But I feel that they said he won the title on his 10th singles match
ever.
So we pretty much only really saw him in DIY matches before turning heel. So it's still quite interesting watching him in these big matches as a babyface. I like when he still has these elements of his heel character. There's a moment where the first time he hits the last shot and he rolls to the ropes and just clings to it.
Yeah.
Which I'd say is, I mean, it's smart because you can't get pinned.
In the Rumble.
But it's more Road Dogg.
It's
more, but it's more heelish. But it's more in a kind of cheeky way. I like it. I feel towards the end, I was like, I've seen this match. This is Cole versus Gargano with Ciampa playing Gargano.
Sure.
With all the run-ins and stuff, I think that's getting a little tired for me, and I feel they have to do it because we saw here the crowd was split again. They're still cheering Adam Cole, even though he's the heel in this feud, and the only way they seem to get people to boo Cole is when you have the interference and the shenanigans. But it's getting a bit repetitive. I feel it might be time to turn Undisputed babyface.
Sure.
Or especially maybe Adam Cole, keep the others still being heel, but start him to be more of an honourable champion.
Like, I can do this without you. Which he's done before.
Which he's done. Yeah. But he always does it at the beginning and then they come out anyway. Yeah. So maybe start having him when they're running out to interfere, sending him back. Start being a bit more honourable. And if you're going to that Finn Balor program, have Cole as the babyface. Gargano, again, I feel people were getting a bit stale on him. So the turn kind of made sense. But I feel because we saw him turn not long ago with the Aleister Black thing, it doesn't quite have the same impact it would have had if he was babyface that whole time.
I still think it'll do it justice. Like, I think it'll play out really well. It's really poetry in motion here. Watching Johnny cost Ciampa the title.
Yeah,
it's so funny.
And
like,
realistically,
the story continues.
Ciampa put him through fucking hell.
Yeah.
And what? Just because he hurt his neck, we're meant to forgive that?
Yeah, you're back now. You're fine.
I can understand.
It's like,
I can understand Johnny's perspective here.
It's like Hot Rod. The whole movie is he's trying to raise money so that he can pay for his stepdad's surgery, so that the stepdad can be at 100%, so that he can fight him and kick his ass.
Right.
That's what Johnny was doing. Johnny was waiting for Ciampa to come back from injury. Yeah, I really liked the match. I think it really delivered. I kind of was like cooling off from all the other matches, and then this match kicked into gear, and I was super into it. Adam Cole doesn't miss. Ciampa coming back. This comeback of his is awesome, and I love the turn. Like I said, poetry in motion with Johnny like turning on him here and changing the course of this, continuing this story again. You could easily do. I was saying that I predicted that these two would fight at TakeOver Tampa. But you could also put them in like some sort of 4-way here with Finn Balor, Adam Cole, Ciampa, Gargano. But
so I'm going to throw to the YouTube room, and then let's talk about that, where we
Sure.
think the direction of the NXT Championship is going. Hansy liked the main event, but he gets tired of the 80 million finishers. At least have Cole or Ciampa's character reflect about having to change their finisher since it's not effective. He compares it to Moxley, how he does the classic DDT, and now he does the elevated one to really finish people.
I'm okay with people kicking out of finishers because usually they then just hit like a few of them and then it does it. Like it's fine. I don't care. Yeah.
I did like Ciampa's reaction when Cole kicked out the fairy tale ending. He was almost in tears.
Yeah.
He was in disbelief
What
and
do I
like,
do?
fuck, I don't know what to do now. Apparently on the Triple H kind of conference call after NXT, he mentioned that the Rhea versus Charlotte match is a Vince project and not his. That's just something separate there. Bruhavan is not a fan of the Gargano heel turn. And he thinks that it should have been babyface versus babyface at Tampa.
Nah, I'm kind of... I'm cool. These guys are going to be in NXT for a while.
When you do that... I know DVDs aren't a thing anymore, but when you do that eventual story looking back at their career, you had the babyface versus babyface in the Cruiserweight Classic.
Yeah.
Then you've had the 3 Gargano babyface against Ciampa as a heel. So I guess it is time to flip it.
Yeah, why not? I'm down. I'm totally down for it.
I mean, I know the match is going to be fantastic.
steal the show.
I'm still a bit hurt by the Gargano
I'm
turn.
broken by it. My heart is broken. This rebel heart turned on the black heart. All the hearts this Valentine's Day.
Hansy also thinks that Cole should be a babyface moving forward, but can see Undisputed Era turning on him and Balor joining that faction.
We'll see.
I feel there is a story there with Undisputed breaking up, but I can't see them doing it without them ever going main. Surely they're main roster people one day.
Yeah, but
that faction is.
But they're killing it here on this show.
Yeah.
So don't leave, please. Please don't leave us. Please. So overall, this takeover was a banger. Like in my opinion, this was awesome. I think every match delivered. Honestly, I don't think there was a dud.
I agree, and I think in the case of both women's matches, they definitely over-delivered for me.
Yeah.
And everything else I thought would be fantastic. What was your match of the night?
Yeah. I really like the main event. I really like the tag match, but I'm gonna have to say Johnny Gargano versus Finn Balor is my match of the night.
I'd go with you there as well. I think that was my favorite match. I do love the takeover tag matches though. They always deliver.
Yeah,
and
they're so good.
much fun.
Yeah, I don't want to take
every
away
time.
from that. Yeah.
Right back from the early takeovers when you think of like American Alpha, Revival, all those guys, they're always so good. I do love that, and I think that's something that NXT prides itself on.
Well, that's what we thought of TakeOver Portland, but let's go to our feedback.
Yes.
And read some thoughts, what you thought, because every Wednesday night when NXT airs on forum.postwrestling.com, the Post Wrestling Forum, we post up and you can write in on feedback, and we'll read it right here. I'm going to start with...
Well, first of all, I threw up a poll
yes.
to see what you guys thought of TakeOver Portland.
Yeah.
And out of 10, it's got an average rating of 8.15, so very positive rating for this show.
So you're saying that we're going to be doing Johnny Gargano versus Finn Balor and chill?
I guess so. I guess so.
The kids are going to start doing that, you know? Yeah, this TakeOver does not miss. You say that you come at the Prince, you don't miss, but TakeOvers don't miss. Honestly, there should just never ever be any doubt in anyone's mind when you watch TakeOver. We go to Eva from London. I will no longer be doing random Shayna facts, seeing how Baszler is now on Raw, even though she is the greatest NXT Women's Champion in history. Mentioning tidbits steals the narrative from NXT's roster, so I get listeners are now tired of it.
You can give them to John Way instead.
They continue. Dakota versus Tegan was lit. In my opinion, stole the show. I understand the match is going with a fuck finish to extend the rivalry, but I don't see what Gonzalez adds to the feud. Balor Gargano, Carnage versus Abs. Beautiful performance, and Balor went over. 3, I actually quite enjoyed Belair versus Ripley. Awesome. Riddle and O'Reilly. I want this to be an NXT Championship feud. Yeah, that's what I was saying. And lastly, way too many kickouts in the main event. Took the sense of drama out the match. Well performed it was. By the way, just realized this is the first time Gargano has worn villain-themed Marvel gear. Well, Venom counts. Venom's
he's
when he was because he did the Spider-Man, and then when he turned heel, he did the Venom.
And he did Punisher.
Ooh, I mean Punisher is an anti-hero type.
He's still a bit of a cock, isn't he?
It's because he's shooting people.
We go to Mystery. Dakota versus Tegan was great and brutal, but adding Raquel to the mix makes no sense and completely deflated the match.
Yeah.
It would be like adding Kona Reeves to the Gargano Ciampa feud. Belair versus Ripley was fine. It was 1/3 of a good match. The first part was mediocre, middle part good, and the ending fell flat. I felt like Bianca did well, but Rhea was not so great. Maybe it's just me, but a title reign is quickly losing steam, and if she doesn't lose to Charlotte at Mania, she probably will soon after. Who do you see her losing it to if that's the case? Because she's really cooled off. Io?
Yeah.
I guess. When Io's ready.
Bring me my Io back, please.
Also, I think Bianca might get a good match against Charlotte on NXT TV in the upcoming weeks to give her a rub and in an attempt to pop ratings, but I don't think she'll be added to the Mania match despite people wanting it, especially since it was revealed in the post-show media call that Vince is the one handling the Charlotte-Rhea feud, not Triple H. Finally, I knew it all along, Gargano is a cowardly heel.
Oh, you're a rat, Johnny. Paul from New Jersey, an enjoyable takeover. Knox Kai was fun and kind of hot, cricket bat and all. Ending was a bit out of nowhere. What's with Portland tables? Found the Bobby Fish song to be lame from the start, and tonight Portland confirmed it. That thing died like a flatulent in a place of worship. That being said, Matt Riddle definitely sounded like he partook in the local culture. Yeah, I have a feeling I'm right about Portland with their stuff. Match of the night goes to Lee and Dijak. Shout out to Kathy Kelly. Super underrated in WWE's social media video game. Just jumped exponentially when she was hired. I have to imagine she said to herself, I am a member of Mensa, and once a week I hold the microphone and smile. I'm worth more than this shit.
Yep.
Pour a little out for Kathy.
Bye-bye, Kathy. Harry from Houston. Jesus, what an eventful show. New Gargano turning back heel was a very real possibility, but honestly, I don't know how to feel about it. I don't know where else he would fit in as a babyface after losing to Balor, but it still hurts if I'm being honest, and heel Gargano versus babyface Ciampa is just weird. I'm with you there, Harry. After this show, it seems like the Tampa main event is Cole versus Balor. I don't know what else they could possibly come up with, so perhaps a Balor babyface turn is coming. As for the show itself, I thought it was terrific. The main event was match of the night, although almost anything on this card has an argument. Gonna need some time to internalize Gargano turning heel again, since I vastly prefer him as a babyface. So, something I could also see is maybe doing a Keith Lee, Adam Cole.
Title versus title.
Yeah.
Like Naito.
Yeah.
Right?
That's something I could possibly see happening if you're not going to go with the Balor route, but I don't see where else Balor goes, really, if you do that.
Chris from Pennsylvania, I think we have an early front runner for show of the year. 6 matches, and I thought all either met or exceeded expectations. It's a toss-up between Cole Ciampa and Lee Dijakovic for match of the night. I thought Knox and Kai did a spectacular job in the street fight, especially having to follow the opener. Even Belair Ripley delivered, considering no one thought Bianca had a chance. I imagine we're going to get Balor Cole at Mania, but part of me hopes the Velveteen Dream goes against Undisputed one by one before winning the belt from Cole Mania weekend. Yeah, that's true. We never thought of that. There's time for Velveteen Dream to move up.
Dream, true.
Yeah. Right, that could happen.
Andrew from Cape Breton. Tonight felt like everyone wanted to top each other when they wrestled. It seems like the NXT locker room might have chips on their shoulder due to AEW's success, and tonight they went all out. I particularly like Kai versus Knox. One reason could go with a potential issue with the show tonight. And one reason could... I don't understand that. Kai versus Knox felt like a fight, whereas a lot of the other matches felt like an exhibition of moves. Okay, I'm with you. It certainly was exciting, but I felt like in many of the matches, one wrestler was going to pull a gun out and shoot their opponent, only for a simple near fall. We had a Canadian destroyer on the floor, but that wasn't as powerful as a belt shot. Felt like Knox and Kai had a ladies' agreement to hit each other as hard as humanly possible and ask for forgiveness later, but it felt like a fight. One other critique of the show was Mauro. I think he jumped the shark tonight with his whip it good line. Mauro is the best announcer nowadays, but today he was like Shawn Michaels during his match with Hulk Hogan at SummerSlam. Yes, he's the best, but it was a little ridiculous tonight. I can't say I didn't have fun watching the show though, so 8 near falls out of 10.
Jackie from Orlando. First time, long time.
First time, long time.
First time, long time. Great show. As the main event went along, I really felt Ciampa should have won. It just seems like WWE hates over baby faces, and I have no clue who they can have Cole face at Tampa that'll garly nearly the reaction Ciampa winning would. Yeah, I'm kind of there. I'm like, ooh, it's tough. Now Gargano is a heel, and your other top baby faces are preoccupied with the tag titles and North American titles, unless Dream faces Cole at Tampa.
I mean, that is kind of fresh. I personally don't really want Riddle. I don't want Balor Cole.
Sure.
I just feel it's a weird dynamic.
Yep.
Jalen from Pickering. Been watching NXT from before they even had a champion, and I think Adam Cole is my least favorite NXT champion of all time.
Whoa.
Gargano had a nothing title reign, so we could watch Cole defend the title in increasingly ridiculous matches. He's emblematic of the complaints people have about NXT. Tag title match banged though. Kyle O'Reilly is the best wrestler in the Undisputed Era.
Ooh, a lot of love for Kyle O'Reilly. I'm telling you, he's great. I need a push for Kyle O'Reilly. We go to Nas from NYC, not the rapper. So I was out of the country for 3 weeks, getting married and all. Hey, congratulations, brother.
Hold on.
Congratulations. Missed all the shows as they were stupendously early morning for me. So thank you for keeping me updated on NXT and producing so much content. Particularly helpful on my 26-hour flight back. Also, your Bond reviews are the best.
Oh, thank you.
Ooh, yes. Love for our James Bond, Daniel Craig series.
Yeah.
Leading up to No Time to Die.
Have you heard the new theme?
With Billie Eilish?
Yeah. I really like it.
It's like slow and sexy.
It makes me worried for James Bond. I think shit's going to happen in this film.
Shot.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, if you want to listen to our Bond reviews, we're doing them on our Patreon as well. As for the show, thank you for the nice comments, and I hope your wedding was awesome. A 26-hour flight sounds fucking terrible. I did a 15-hour once, and I wanted to just die at the 11th hour mark. Jeez. He says, as for the show tonight, is there a better pro wrestling show this year? God bless it, because it was fucking amazing. Gargano is a piece of shit. The Broserweights are the best thing in wrestling. Keith Lee and Dominik Dijakovic are out of this world.
We go to, someone who attended the show.
Ooh.
Alexander from Portland.
Hey,
hello, Alexander.
Live at the show.
Holy hell, what a show. I wanted to cheer the entire night, but that Lee Dijakovic match killed my throat.
Nice.
Crowd was so hot for everyone. Easily the best crowd Portland has had. Tag match was interrupted by a really boisterous fan in our section that eventually got kicked out.
Whoa.
But we easily got back into the match.
Nice.
Glad the Broserweights won, but I hate that they're trying to get that fish fry chant over. If Ciampa had to lose tonight, I'm glad it was due to something so shocking as a Gargano turn. Or does that not count as a turn? If I had one disappointment, it was the Rhea and Bianca match. I was hoping for a classic to really help put Bianca on the map, but we really didn't quite get that. Hopefully next time NXT is here, we get Velveteen Dream. I can't imagine how fun an entrance he would have if it were here tonight. Also, I love the timeliness of the show. No part of it dragged. It felt like I got out early. 8 out of 10. Question. With the NXT Women's Championship being defended at WrestleMania, what do you think will be the marquee match for the women at Tampa?
You could do Dakota Kai, Tegan Knox maybe again. You could do the NXT UK title come over, depending on who's the champion for crossover matches.
Or do have Kairi and Asuka defend the titles.
Perfect. Yeah, I'm down with any of those variations, honestly.
Like Nox and Candice against Kabuki Warriors or something like
Where's
that.
Io?
Yeah.
Roger D. Allman. How does NXT keep doing it? They're having amazing takeover after amazing takeover. Excuse me. And every time you think they won't top one, they end up outdoing themselves yet again. Dakota Kai is one of my favorite characters in wrestling, and it looks like she may now have that Diesel to her Sean in Raquel. I love Dakota. She, just like I love evil Shirai. Yes, emo Shirai. I just like to see, like, evil women. It's the same in all my relationships. What the hell is wrong with me?
We've all been there, Roger.
Yeah, do you have any comment about that?
No.
I was waiting for you to
today. No,
like take the piss out of me, as if you would say that was open. I knew it was coming. I scouted it. I scouted your thing with talking about me and evil women. I knew you were thinking it. Going in, I thought for sure Gargano would beat Balor, Ciampa would beat Cole, and we'd finally get that WrestleMania takeover blow off to the DIY for the title. Instead, Gargano loses, fueling his rage, and he takes out both of his best friend and greatest enemy, Ciampa. We still get that match, but it's more personal without the title. Question, could you guys see Gargano and Ciampa main event TakeOver Tampa while Cole defends the title, possibly against Balor? Yeah, they main evented before.
So he's saying the NXT Championship being defended at WrestleMania with Balor and Cole. I can't see you having two two matches. I feel whatever the men's match is at WrestleMania will kind of be sort of treated as a toilet break for a lot of people, which it shouldn't be, but I worry that would happen.
Yeah.
Whereas I think Charlotte versus Rhea could be pretty hot for Mania.
Yeah.
And finally, we go to Ben from Vancouver, who drove down for the show.
Hey.
Incredible from top to bottom. Tag match was the highlight for me. Riddle was so over, but the Lee Dijakovic match was also great. Balor Gargano was interesting, and you have to wonder if the reaction Johnny got led to the heel turn tonight, which felt really out of nowhere. The crowd was 65-35 for Finn, though. Charlotte was a nice surprise pop, and there was a massive "you don't go here" chant. The street fight was the only thing that didn't really get over, as it was a bit sloppy and no one knew who the run-in was. The Bobby Fish sing-along was also pretty forced. Felt like not many people knew what it was.
Yeah.
In general, it felt like a lot of people aren't necessarily watching all the TV, and you didn't have to with the video packages. Biggest pops were Riddle, Balor, and Lee. Biggest heat, Charlotte, Fish and O'Reilly, Sam Roberts. He got booed any time he spoke.
As he should.
Yeah, boo.
Yeah.
Listen to this podcast instead.
So that's what you all thought about NXT TakeOver Portland. Yeah, top to bottom, this show was a lot of fun. NXT doesn't miss. Papa Triple H, Papa Trips. What do you want to call him? What do people call him?
Papa H? I don't know.
Papa Paul?
Yeah, Uncle Paul.
Uncle Paul. Yeah, that's what we call him. He does a good job at this wrestling thing, in my opinion.
I think so too.
Yeah, and that's why we watch NXT every Wednesday. And you can hear us every Wednesday when we do Up Next, where we watch NXT and review it. Again, live on our YouTube every Wednesday night after NXT airs. YouTube.com/upnext. Follow our Twitter at upnextpodcast to follow along with the show. And follow our Patreon. If you like us and want to hear more of us, we do so many more shows out on our Patreon. I mentioned we did a Valentine's date together because it was Valentine's, full of hearts. We watched the best of Bret Hart. We watched all the best Bret Hart matches and debated which one is the best in a show we called Best Match Ever.
Sorry, Best Match Ever. There we go.
The best there is, the best there was, the best there ever will be, ever.
Yes.
Yeah. So that was a lot of fun. So if you want to hear us talk about Bret Hart matches and which one is the best, someone right now is yelling, I know what the best one. Well, we talked about it if you got to listen to that show. We did a best match ever of Ring of Honor matches, which was crazy. There was Kabashi and Joe and all sorts of people in that as well. That's on there. We mentioned the Bond reviews that we did on our Patreon as well. We're doing all the Daniel Craig ones.
And if you want an idea of other things you do, we do like for free, because we don't just talk about wrestling on the podcast. We are doing a free movie review next week where we're covering Return of the Jedi.
Yes.
We have been working our way through all the Star Wars films in chronological order, and we're at the finale of the original trilogy next week. So give that a listen. If you feel it's something you like, maybe give the Patreon a go. And
we did a show that just came out earlier today. We decided that whatever wins the Academy Awards for Best Film of the Year, we would do a review on. Well, we just did our review of Parasite, the Korean foreign film that Paris swept the Oscars. So we are both really big fans of this movie. So we did a bunch of Oscar movie chats about all the popular movies that came out this year because we watched a bunch of them. So if you're interested in movie chats, go listen to the Parasite, because that was honestly a really fun show because we like dissected. We've both seen the movie a few times now. Yeah, we dissected the movie, and fantastic film if you haven't seen it. One of my favorites. It's super good. Just crazy. I highly recommend getting over the hump of subtitles and just watch it. It's so good. So we have so many shows, and then the weekly Wednesday Night Wars on Thursdays. We do the AEW Dynamite reviews as well. All the podcasts, all the time. We're just working away, and we thank all our patrons and the people who just listen to this feed as well. Thank you for listening. Thank you for supporting. The love is appreciated. Yeah, and as we mentioned, we are on YouTube Live every Wednesday. We've also just started trying out the Hot Mic app. You can download it for free. Follow us. It's simply Up Next. Just search for Up Next on Hot Mic, and you can join in the conversation there as well. We're going to start doing like live watch-alongs of some shows, so possibly some of the main pay-per-views on, and the AEW show that's coming up soon. So you can join us there on Hot Mic. So give it a go. Yes, give it a go, and again, follow us, rate us, subscribe, all that fun stuff wherever you get your podcasts. Give us a good comment or a rating. It helps us, just the little things. And you can follow myself, Braden Herrington, on Twitter and Instagram. I am at the Bray D.
And I'm at Davie Portman.
And we will be back next Wednesday.
Yes.
With upNXT to see the
fallout.
The fallout.
What we used to call the hangover.
Yeah, it's true. It is true. So thank you for listening. Take care. Goodbye. And rebel.
Why, Johnny?
Yeah, why, Johnny? You rebel heartbreaker. This rebel heart. This rebel heart. Take care. Goodbye. Be safe.
Ahoy! Okay. Chat room's busy tonight.
Chat room, how are ya?
They're all good. MJ just got in there.
MJ just got in as we finished the damn show. Stop the damn match.
The big question is, what is the wine of the day? It's a Sangiovese Merlot, because it's Sangiovese Sunday. Yeah, and it wasn't bad. It was only $9. It was a cheap one from the Boozer app.
Was it?
Which we need to get that sponsorship from.
Yeah, how do we not?
Boozer.
Because we're boozers.
Yeah, it's been good. It's been pretty good.
How are y'all doing?
Yeah, there's still a lot of people in here, and thank you all for the conversation. It looked like you were all going back and forth a lot, which we love. It's great to see the interaction here, and we're getting there. Like, we've been building our set. We've got our cool little graphic going on now with our scrolly thing at the bottom. So we definitely want to do some more of this and start doing some fun little watch-alongs of shows as well.
Fun little watch-alongs of shows. What are people saying? Hello, people.
Yeah, and people seem kind of different opinions on what match of the night is. Some people are saying tag titles, some saying
main event was really good.
Yeah. Right, so we're just sorting out the show so it can go on the podcast apps.
MJ, happy birthday, brother. Hope it was good. Hope you got to see some family friends. I'm sure he did. I'm sure he hung out with all his family. His family friends. I know he did. Popping bottles of bubbly. I did. It was a fun review. You guys are selling me on the Patreon. Oh, thank you very much, man. Yeah, thank you. Appreciate that. We have so many things. The graphics covering Kyrie. Oh, yeah.
Hansy, you can still try out the Cruiserweight tier. If you just want to throw us $2, we've got about 7 shows on there you can get for free. So
maybe you've never heard my episode 0.
Yeah.
Where I cut a promo on someone. You might want to hear me cut a promo.
So it's a good little way of sampling the show. If you're not sure if you want to take the plunge, you can be one of our Cruiserweight champions.
We turned some of those shows for 205ers.
Yeah.
I'm saving the show right now. Thanks for everyone for tuning in and listening and supporting wherever you is. MJ says Cole versus Balor at Mania. Yeah, you missed our show, MJ.
Yeah.
Why don't you tune in on time?
Listen. Yeah.
You're hanging out with too many family friends.
Yeah.
God damn.
Yeah, your birthday family friends.
Yeah, your birthday. Birthday. How old are you anyways? 28? Get a job. Because I'm 28. And he's not 28, so you get the joke.
I saw something the other day. It was like British memes.
Uh-oh.
And it was like, if anyone looks young, every British person says they're 12. It's like the go-to age.
Oh,
like,
I do, yeah.
What are you, 12?
Yeah, I say that.
What, you with her? She's fucking 12.
What are you, 6? What are you doing?
Oh, it's always 12. It's 12 on the dot.
It's like when it's like, I haven't heard about that since 1912. 1917, 1916, all these 19s. Jeez. Well, I guess that's it, fellas. Lads, lasses, whoever it might be out there. We're going to take off, I think.
We are indeed.
Cole versus Dream at TakeOver Tampa.
I'm more into that. I don't know what you do with Balor, though. But, yeah, I'm more into that. This has been a fun chat, guys. We're going to love you and leave you. We will see you all on Wednesday.
See you Wednesday. Thank you for listening. Thank you for supporting.
Take care. Bye.